The auto market is a zero-sum game. It is a zero-sum game because it's not getting bigger. Yeah, it's true the world's population has increased, but cars last longer now than they used to, so less cars are being sold every year. What that means is some manufacturers are in big trouble. Now, one of them I've just recently noticed is Subaru. If you look at Subaru sales recently, not good. Nissan, not good. Many manufacturers are struggling. However, Chinese manufacturers, they are increasing their market share. In fact, Chinese car exports grew by 32% so far this year. And that's in spite of the fact that the United States and Europe are basically trying to block them. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. Guys, these numbers from China are pretty damn impressive. And if you want to see some new Chinese EVs from Xpeng, from Zeekr, from some other new car brands, in fact, Zeekr is the fastest growing car brand in the world this year for good reason. Well, if you want to see them, come and check them out. The Melbourne EV SUV show, which is on this weekend. It's in Melbourne and I'll be there. I'd love to see you there. I'll be there on the Friday night, the Saturday and the Sunday. So come on down and say hi. I'll put a link in the description below to tickets. You can get tickets really cheap if you use my link. Back to what's going on in China. China broke through in 2023 to become the world's largest exporter of vehicles. That's never happened before. First time ever, right? This year, it has increased its lead, leaving Japan in the dust. Japan's exports are going down. China's are increasing. Now, do you see that trend reversing itself anytime soon? No, I didn't think so. Even if you're a diehard Toyota fan, you've got to know the writing is on the wall. In fact, Toyota sales this year have begun to fall, down 10%. Data from the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association reveals that during the first 6 months of the year, its total vehicle exports reached 2 million or 2.02 million. That's a decline of 0.3%. And it consisted of 1.83 million passenger vehicles and approximately 187,000 commercial vehicles. So, a bit of a reduction in exports of Japanese vehicles, but a pretty significant increase in exports of Chinese vehicles. During the January to June period, manufacturers from China exported more than 2.8 million cars. Now, in 2022, China was nowhere near Japan's export numbers. Japan was well ahead of China. Within the space of less than 2 years, China has gone from behind Japan to completely outclassing it. So that means that EVs, primarily EVs are the vehicles that China are exporting, they are leaving China and being sold in places like Australia and Thailand and many other places like even Russia, Europe, at a massive increase. 31%, in fact, I believe 31.9. So let's just call it 32% this year. 2.34 million of those were passenger vehicles. 450,000 of them were commercial vehicles. Many exclusively associate new and innovative EVs and other electric cars with Chinese car brands, which makes sense. I mean, there are a lot of Chinese car brands now that are exporting vehicles, Chinese EV brands that are exporting vehicles, right? But these actually only made up a minority of these figures, totaling 605,000 of the 2.7 million. 2.2 million vehicles built in China and sent overseas were actually combustion-powered vehicles. 2.2 million were combustion-powered vehicles. Now, keep in mind, China doesn't want these cars, so you're buying Chinese shit. You basically are. The world is buying Chinese crap that China doesn't want. 50% of all cars sold in China now are electric. Do you see anyone in China walking around saying, I can't wait to buy an internal combustion car, can't wait to buy an Audi vehicle? Audi are removing the badges from their cars in China now because, well, the brand doesn't hold much credibility anymore. Neither do any legacy automakers. The truth is in China, guys, when I went to China, people are not driving around proudly in brand new internal combustion engine cars. They're not at all. And, well, as a result, China's like, well, we've got all these cars here. We've got all these factories that make old gasoline cars. Does the world want them? Sure, you can take them all. Have them all, please. Please. And the world's like, yeah, great, we'll buy those. But honestly, if you're a sucker and you buy an internal combustion engine vehicle, well, you're going to be stuck with enormous depreciation. The whole COVID thing, right? The COVID weird scenario where it boosted the price of used cars because no one bought any cars for a couple of years, that's gone. That's done. There is now an enormous glut of cars. Legacy automakers have the largest glut of cars in the history of the planet right now. That's just been reported within the last 24 hours. These legacy automakers have millions of cars, don't know what to do with them. They're shutting down factories in China. They're shutting down factories worldwide. Honda has shut down 7 different factories in 6 different countries over the last 12 months. What does that tell you? That's not just Honda, by the way. There's many other examples of that from many other legacy automakers. Well, it tells you the Chinese are here, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop them, whether that's taxes, penalties, whatever it is. Now, I'm not saying, please don't send me an email saying, you're promoting China here, you love the Chinese government, you're a secret spy for China. Please don't send me an email saying that. It's just stupid. I don't love China. What I do is I simply report the facts, and these are the facts. China's 5 largest vehicle exporters consisted of Chery Automobile, who are actually the fastest growing car company right now in China that sells internal combustion vehicles, but they do sell EVs as well. SAIC Motor Corp are the second fastest, and Chang'an Automobile are third. Geely is fourth, and BYD. Now, actually, guys, I've just looked at the numbers, and that's not in order. They're just the 5 fastest growing. The truth is, Geely is actually the fastest growing car manufacturer in China this year. They've just leapfrogged over Mercedes-Benz worldwide. Geely, I believe, have just jumped up 4 places from about 12th to about 8th worldwide in terms of the biggest car companies in the world. So that's scary. Now, in terms of actual exporters, though, cars exported. Chery, they exported 532,000. SAIC exported 440,000, or SAIC. Chang'an exported 285,000. Geely exported 242,000. And BYD exported only 207,000. So when I say only, I mean considering the fact BYD is selling more than 300,000 cars a month, every single month, 207,000 vehicles exports is not that many for BYD, and I'm pretty sure that number will drastically change. But it's also true that BYD, they've got new car factories now popping up in Brazil, North Africa, I believe it is in Morocco. They've got one coming up in Mexico. They've got another one in Turkey. They've got one in Hungary as well, Austria. So yeah, I mean, BYD's exports may not grow that much because they'll be making cars outside of China. So there are the numbers here, guys. Here are the car companies on the rise. Those 5 car companies are certainly very powerful, but out of those companies, in my opinion, the companies you should be taking very, very seriously, more seriously than any others, and maybe even considering investing in if that's what you're looking at, they're BYD and Geely. I believe those are the 2 car companies that have the best technology, the best ability to make EVs, good EVs, very, very good EVs, and sell them potentially at a profit. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.